Ladies and gentlemen, in this ifactner's learning video tutorial, we will talk about how to greet people in Urdu language. We will learn to type and write different words and sentences related to greetings in Urdu. We will also learn to speak those words and to pronounce those words correctly. You will also be able to read Urdu via these lessons. Let's start our tutorial. So, in English, when we meet someone in the morning, we say good morning. In Urdu, good is acha or achi for female. But here we will use bakhair. Bakhair. So remember that good when we are greeting people is bakhair in Urdu. And morning is subh or subha. Subha and good is bakhair. Now let's type bakhair and subha in Urdu language. So I will change my keyboard to Urdu and I will type bakhair as be khe ye re bakhair, and we type subha as swad be he, which is this है subha, subha bakhair. And when we combine these two words, then we can type as subha bakhair. So instead of good morning, we say in Urdu subha bakhair. So morning comes first and then bakhair. So let's write it down. This greeting, when we meet someone in the morning, we will say swat be he subha and bakhair be khe ye and re subha bakhair. Now let's see how do we write this greeting in Urdu language. So you make a balloon like structure for subha, for swad, like this, a horizontal balloon like structure, and then you write be and then you write he and put a dot under be. This is subha, and we write bakhair like this. First be, then khe, then ye and re. Put one dot for be, one dot on top of khe, and two dots under ye. So we write subha bakhair like this. Now let's move forward, and let's suppose that we want to say good evening. So how do we write that in Urdu? Let me change my keyboard settings in Windows to English keyboard, and we write good evening. Now we have already discussed that in this scenario good is bakhair, bakhair, and evening is sham. So we can type Bakhair and Subha with Urdu keyboard. Let's type it. First, let's type Bakhair. Be, Khe, Ye, Re, Bakhair. And then Sham. Sham is evening. Sheen, Aleph, Mim. Sham. So in Urdu, we will write, or we will say Sham Bakhair. So evening comes first and then good. Sham Bakhair. So let's write it. Sheen Aleph Mim Sham and then Bakhair. Be Khe Ye Re. Sham Bakhair. Now let's see how do we type this Sham or write Sham Bakhair in Urdu. So we start with Sheen, and we know that to write Sheen we write first part of Sheen with a connector, put 3 dots on Sheen and then Aleph, then Mim, because no character is connected after Aleph, therefore we write Mim separately. This is Sham, and we have already learned to write Bakhair, Be, Khe, Ye, Re. Bakhair. Sham Bakhair. Sham Bakhair is good evening. Now let's see how do we type, or how do we pronounce and read and write good night in Urdu language. So to say good night, let me change my keyboard to English to type good night first. Good and night. Now we have we have already known that good is Bakhair in this scenario. So we write Bakhair or type Bakhair, Be, Khe, Re. Bakhair. And night is either Raat, or in this type of greeting we say Shab. Shab is also a night, but the more common word is Raat. But here we use Shab for this kind of a greeting. Sheen Zabar Be Shab. Shab Bakhair. And it is written in English or Roman Urdu as Bakhair, and Shab is Shab. Shab. Now, just like the previous greeting, we use Shab Bakhair. We say Shab Bakhair. So night comes first in Urdu and then the good. So let's write Shab Bakhair or type Shab Bakhair in Urdu. So to type Shab Bakhair, I change my keyboard to Urdu and then write Sheen Be Shab space and Bakhair, because these are two different words. Be Khe Ye Re. Shab Bakhair. Now let's see how do we write Shab Bakhair in Urdu language. So Bakhair we will write Bakhair in the same way, but to write Shab we first need to write Sheen. The initial position shape of Sheen is written like this. Sheen. And then Be. Shab. And Bakhair is written just like before. Be, Khe, Ye, Re. Shab Bakhair. Now let's suppose we want to say greetings in Urdu language. So greetings is adab. So you just want to say, please accept my greeting or greetings. So greetings is adab. Adab. Now let's see how do we type adab in Urdu. So because there is a sound of so we write this word with alif mad a alif mad dal ad and alif ada and be adab adab. And let's see how do we write adab in Urdu language. To write adab, we start with alif, which is a straight line, alif, and put this special character mad on top of alif. So it will make the sound of a. Alif mad a, dal, ad, dal alif da, ada, and alif mad a, dal alif da, be sakin, ada. So we write adab like this. All there are none of the character is connected in this scenario. Or if you want to say hello or hi in Urdu, then you can simply say hello or hi, or the shorter version is you can say assalamu alaikum if you want to say it in a proper if you want to greet people in a proper way. But you can also simply say salam. So you can either say assalamu alaikum, or you can simply say salam. So let's see how do we write salam in Urdu. Or first let's see how do we type salam. So salam is sin, lam, alif, salah, and mim. Salam. Salam. Or you can say assalamu alaikum. But let's see how do we write salam first. So to write salam, you just start with sin like this. First two parts of sin and then the connector. And then connect it to lam, alif, salah, and mim sakin, salam. Salam is an informal way of greeting people, but usually we say when we meet people assalamu alaikum. But you can also say hello or hi. Hi is written like this: A alif hamza choti a, hi. Or hello is हे ये दो चश्मी है लाम लो, hello. So you can say hi or hello or simply salam, or if you want to be very specific, then you can say assalamu alaikum. Now we want to ask how are you? So in Urdu, let's type in English. How are you? How is कैसे, are is हैं, and you is आप. So let's see how do we write कैसे and हैं and आप, and then we will see how do we form a sentence or translate how are you in Urdu in a correct way. So कैसे can be typed as काफ ये सीन, काफ ये and सीन बढ़िए कैसे. है is हे ye and nuna. And remember that in Urdu we write from right to left instead of from left to right. कैसे हैं? And we write आप alif mada pe sakin. And for female we will say कैसी instead of कैसे. So remember that in Urdu the sentence structure depends upon the gender of the subject or an object. Now, to translate how are you in Urdu, we will say आप कैसे हैं. So first comes the subject, then the question word, and then the verb. So to greet someone or to ask someone how are they doing, we will say alif mada pe sakin, आप and कैसे, काफ ये सीन बढ़िए हैं, हे ye and nuna. And in the end we will put a question mark. And to ask this sentence from a female, we will ask आप कैसी हैं, or the informal way of asking is तुम कैसे हो for male and तुम कैसी हो for female. First let's see how do we write आप कैसी हैं अलिफ मदा पे साकिन, आप कैसी, काफ ये सीन छूटिए, कैसी हैं, हे ये and नूना. आप कैसी हैं for female. Now let's see how do we write आप कैसी हैं in Urdu language. So to write आप कैसी हैं, we will start with alif mad a. Alif mad a पे साकिन, आप कैसे, काफ ये सीन and बढ़िए कैसे. So you can write हे ये and नूना. आप कैसे हैं. And तुम is written like this. ते पेश मीम तुम कैसे हो और कैसी हो for female. Let's see how do we write कैसी, काफ ये सीन छोटी है, कैसी, तुम कैसी, and हो is written like this. So informal version is तुम कैसे हो, तुम कैसी हो, and formal version is आप कैसे हैं, आप कैसी हैं. Now let's suppose if someone has asked us how are you, आप कैसे हैं, then in English we say I'm fine. So in English we usually say I am fine. Now in Urdu I is मैं, am is हूँ, and fine is ठीक. मैं, I am हूँ, fine ठीक. Let's see how do we type it in Urdu. So मैं can be typed as मीम ये and नूना. हूँ, he, wow, and nuna. And ठीक is te. And for aspirated sound, we will use दो चश्मी है, te, he, ये काफ, मैं ठीक, it's मैं हूँ ठीक. Now to form a sentence in Urdu, we will start with the subject मैं, and then comes the rest of the sentence, and in the end we have the verb. So it will be मैं ठीक हूँ, I am fine in English, but when we write it in Urdu, then it would be मैं ठीक हूँ. So let's type it. मैं ठीक हूँ, मीम, ये, and नूना. मैं ठीक is te, he, ye, काफ, ठीक, and हूँ, he, wow, and nuna. And in the end we have a dash. Instead of hyphen we use this symbol, which is a hyphen in English. So now let's see how do we write मैं ठीक हूँ in Urdu language. So to write मैं ठीक हूँ, we will start with the small part of meme, then ये, then nuna. ठीक, te, he, ये, काफ, हूँ, he, wow, nuna. And the good part is that मैं ठीक हूँ is similar for male and female. So our answer will be मैं ठीक हूँ in either case. And let's suppose we want to say और आप कैसे हैं and how are you, then we will just add or. Now let's suppose we want to ask what's your name? What is your name? So in English, let's type in English first of all. What is your name? So what is क्या, is है, your, आपका, and name is नाम. क्या है आपका नाम? So let's see how do we type it in Urdu. क्या is काफ, ये अलिफ, क्या. है is हे, बढ़िए, हे, बढ़िए है. आपका is alif mad a and pe sakin. So these are two words. Aap is you, आपका your. Ka, kaf alif ka. And naam is, naam can be written as noon alif na mim sakin, naam. Now let's see how do we translate it properly in Urdu. So in Urdu we will say आपका नाम क्या है. So here we are not starting with the question word, but instead we are starting with the subject. आपका, your, नाम क्या है. So let's write it down. So in Urdu we will ask आप, अलिफ मदा पेशा किन आप, काफ अलिफ का, आपका नाम, नून अलिफ मीम, नाम क्या, काफ ये अलिफ क्या, and hai is hey badiye. In the end, we put the question mark like this. So you will notice that in Urdu, we put the inverted question mark opposite to English, because in Urdu we write from right towards left. Now let's see how do we write आपका नाम क्या है. So we will start with alif mad a pesakin aap. Ka, kaf, alif ka. Naam, nun alif na, mim sakin, naam. Kya, kaf, alif, kya. And hai can be written like this. Hey बढ़िए है. आपका नाम क्या है? So now if someone asks us, what is your name? Then we say, I am dash, let's suppose, or my name is dash. So let's say we want to say, I am ifactner. So in English, we will write I am ifactner, or whatever your name is, you can say it. In Urdu, we say मैं हूँ, or whatever is your name, you will say मैं हूँ ifactner. So we can type मैं as meme, ye and nunna, मैं. Who is he, wow and nunna. And whatever is your name, you can say it here or type it here. Now in Urdu, we will say, instead of I am ifactner, we will say मैं ifactner हूँ. मैं, then comes the name and then the verb. So we will say meme ye nuna मैं. So you will say मैं, whatever is your name, you can write it here. And then in the end, whom, he, wow, nuna, and in the end, a hyphen. मैं ifactner हूँ. So now let's see how do we write this sentence in Urdu. So we will say मैं, meme, ye and nunna. Your name and whom, he, wow, nunna. And the good thing is that we don't have to take care of the gender of the person. So for both male and female, it's मैं ifactner हूँ. Now we want to say nice to meet you. For example, in English we say nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. So in Urdu usually we say आपसे मिलकर खुशी हुई. I'm happy to meet you. So in Urdu usually we say I'm happy to meet you. So instead of nice to meet you, we say I'm happy to meet you. I'm happy to meet you. So we will translate I am happy to meet you instead of nice to meet you. So in Urdu, we will say am can be translated as whom, he, wow, nuna, because it's the first person. Happy is khushi, he, wow, sheen, choti hai. To is kar, kaf, re. Meet is mil. It's to meet means milna. The base form of the verb is milna, but here we will only use mil and omit na. So mil is mim lam, mil, and you is aap. So let's type it in Roman Urdu. Who is he, whom, khushi. Happy is khushi. To is kar. Meet is mil. And you is aap. Now to form a sentence, we will say आपसे मिलकर खुशी हुई. So we will start with the object which is aap, and we will say आपसे. So in Urdu we will say आप से मिलकर, मीम lam, mil, space and कर, काफरे कर, खुशी, खे, वाव, शीन, छोटी है, खुशी हुई, हे, वाव and हमजा छोटी है, आपसे मिलकर खुशी हुई. Now let's see how do we write this sentence in Urdu. So in Urdu we will say आप से मिलकर, अलिफ मदा पे साकिन, आप से, सीन बढ़िए, से, मिल, मीम लाम, मिल, कर, काफरे कर, खुशी is खे वाव, शीन छोटी है, खुशी हुई, हे वाव, हमजा छोटी है, खुशी हुई, आपसे मिलकर खुशी हुई. Ladies and gentlemen, this was our part number 1 of how to greet people in Urdu language. We have learned to read, write, type and speak these sentences to greet people in Urdu language. If you have any questions or comments, then please use the comment section below, and please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family members. If you are new, then please subscribe to my channel. I will see you next time. Until then, take care, keep learning, keep enjoying. Good day.